Welcome friends, my name is Ejaz Kazi and I'm back with one more video, and this video is also relevant in the current situation. It's going to be on virtual collaboration, virtual meetings, virtual collaboration. It is the actually seeing on day-to-day basis. We are actually experiencing on day-to-day basis. Before lockdown, this term was actually not that popular, but during the lockdown and even in unlock, now people are preferring to be collaborating on virtual platforms. There are many platforms which are being used instead of meeting physically. This has resulted in a lot of advantages of avoiding a lot of cost on travel and other issues, and even the current issue where people are not required to meet physically because of the spread of the disease. So this has become the way of life for us in this situation, and probably in future this is going to be the way of life anyways. More and more people will come and collaborate on virtual platforms for any topic, and a project management, or if you have any business meeting, people will talk more on getting on virtual platform other than meeting physically. The topic of the day is virtual collaboration, and we will start with that, looking at some of the advantages, disadvantages, and some of the pointers to make virtual collaboration more effective. So with that, I'll start my session. You must have seen such pictures and more of such pictures, where it is showing the other side of virtual meetings, virtual collaborations, where one person is talking about something here, the other person is not able to understand it or not able to listen properly, and he might or she might take out some different meaning out of it. You will also have issues like getting screen freezing, then someone is just getting out of the meeting or getting disconnected. People are thinking, should we wait? Somebody said, yes, let's wait. There will be some miscommunication or misinterpretation of words. You will not be able to hear total words. Somebody joining little late and asking whether I missed something, because on virtual platforms, if you are late, the meetings won't waiting for you to join. And these are some of the things which we have been experiencing, we have been learning, because we have not been used to it for earlier to this lockdown period. So these are also learning, and I believe going forward we will learn a lot of things and improve about the outcome of such collaborations. And that's very important, because people, when they collaborate, the whole objective is to have agenda, discuss on the agenda, and get an outcome, get an action plan out of that collaboration. So this, when you talk about collaboration, there is a chart which is generally shown, which is talk about mobility versus collaborative culture, and you can see from siloed to huddled, now people are moving both in terms of mobility and collaborative culture to virtual teams. This has been there in IT sector, but it is going to be more common in most of the sectors now. When we look at virtual versus face-to-face collaboration, what we actually prefer, we prefer, when we talk about virtual, when we want to collaborate on virtual platforms, it is generally done when there is a non-person oriented discussion. It is generally done when dealing with acquaintances, and if there is a long travel time, long journey, people will prefer for virtual things. If there is a short discussion, it is not marathon kind of meetings, people will prefer virtual platforms. And when the information and exchanging the task is very easy, I think, on virtual platform. When we talk about face-to-face, first is when it is a person-oriented thing, generally face-to-face meetings are preferred. Dealing with stranger, at least for the first time, we don't know, it is better to meet them in person for the first time, and then we can go and collaborate on virtual. But when we talk about stranger, we have to meet face-to-face. When there is short travel, we can go easily. People will generally prefer face-to-face. When there is a longer discussion, people have to wait for certain time. Face-to-face is the better thing. And when there are negotiations, solution of disputes, or there's a discussion about negotiation of business or anything else, then I think the face-to-face is more preferred. So these are two different dimensions I wanted to tell you before we get into it. We have been talking about, and when we talk about collaboration, ability to collaborate is a gift to mankind given by God, and that's very important because many people can come together, they can discuss, they can come together for a great cause, they can come together for a great project, and when they come together, when the minds come together and they collaborate, the results becomes outstanding. So this is the gift to the mankind. And when we talk about these virtual platforms or virtual meetings, agenda in these meetings should not be more than 3 things. It has to be a shorter agenda, as we have seen earlier. In the shorter agenda, we can get a better output, a better results. When we start virtual meeting, it has to be with some icebreaker off the topic. Start with something else rather than getting into directly into the topic, so that people have a little bit of time to get, collaborate and then get into the topic. So that's another way of starting these meetings with a kind of icebreaker. When you talk about this, we also must understand the international crew, the total crew come together once in 7 years, and that is the fact. So all the people who come together on one flight, they will be again coming, all the people coming together will generally take around 7 years. So this is another fact which you have to understand. There are challenges in virtual meetings, virtual collaboration, and we look at one by one. The first would be the technology glitches. Most of the time we find that technology is not supporting. You will have network issues and a lot of other glitches which will not be able to give you a smooth meeting or a smooth you can say collaboration. So that is the first challenge when you talk about virtual meetings or virtual collaboration. Another challenge is managing the time zones. People across the world can come together on these platforms, but we must remember what are the time zones. Person living in India and person living in US or the extreme western US will have little difficulty to manage the time. So this has another challenge, but there are ways of managing this. I am just putting out first the challenges here. Communication and participation in the meeting. Most of the time you will find most of the people are not participating. They just become mute spectators. Second thing, communicating in this kind of meetings becomes a little challenge. You always come across some of the issues where participants do not mute their speakers when they are not supposed to talk, and you will have a lot of background noise which can disturb the meeting, and communication will be impacted, because we must have seen in communication to pass on message from one person or one group of team to another group of team. There is an element of noise, and if the noise comes because of this, then the communication cannot be effective. So this is another challenge which is there in virtual collaboration. Information overload, lot of things happening continuously, one meeting, another meeting. So you get bogged down. There is a huge amount of information which is given, and you are not able to manage this information. That's another challenge over here. And when we talk about this, we also must look at people who live alone. They come on these platforms, they collaborate, but there is a feeling in these people, especially when they are alone in their part of the locations, isolation and loneliness. This is another area which is creeping in because of this, because you don't meet face to face, and the joy of meeting doesn't happen. You only meet for the time on virtual platform, and you actually lose, or you actually have loss of getting connected in this platform. So that's another thing which is challenge in this. And most difficult thing here is maintaining accountability of work. So when we talk about people living across, coming together, to maintain a control on accountability of people who are supposed to do the task or the activities is a little bit of a challenge. And more importantly, when we meet, we talk and we see eye to eye. In this, there is a lack of eye contact, and because of that, there is a lack of trust. So this is another challenge which is there in virtual collaboration. And there are many challenges where when we talk about meeting in virtual teams, good virtual teams must also recognize that remote communication and unclear management are common reasons why virtual teams can fail. There are two important things we must keep in mind when we talk about virtual meetings. that remote communication and unclear management are the most common reasons why these teams, these meetings, this collaboration fails. So this is very important to understand. What we can do to make it more worth or more successful, let us look at one by one. First important thing is get the team first, at least for the first time, physically on. Let them know each other first for the first time. Then that bonding can be established at the first time, and then you can go on virtual platforms for the further things. So that's the first thing which is required. Second thing is clarity. Clarity is very, very important. Why we are coming together? Everybody is aware of the purpose for collaborating. Everybody is aware of the goals. Everybody is aware of the roles, and everybody is aware of the tasks and the processes. So if this is made clear to all the team members who are on the virtual collaboration, I think that 50% of the work is done here, because most of the time, because of these confusions, the problem starts. Commit to team norms and communication charter. So when we talk about this collaboration, there has to be team norms, there has to be some ground rules which has to be there when we collaborate virtually. And those ground rules, those norms have to be followed by each and every one. And there has to be someone who must be able to watch and see that everything is properly managed. Leverage the most appropriate technology. And here it's very important. Most of the time we feel that having a very, very expensive technology will be able to give you a better output of those meetings or collaboration. It is not. We must be looking at the technologies that are most appropriate for the session. You can have a conference call if there are 2 or 3 people. You don't need a video call. You can have video call when you have a larger audience. Again, those video calls or whatever platform you choose everybody should be able to use it properly, use it effectively. It has to be user friendly so that everybody can, collaborate, contribute in these meetings. And if you try to do something extraordinary which is not required, I think it will not yield the results which we want from this collaboration. Build a rhythm, because when you have people physically, you can have a proper rhythm. Always there are challenges in that because humans are difficult to manage, but when the humans are at different locations coming on virtual collaboration, it becomes more difficult. So that's why as a leader, the rhythm has to be built in a team, otherwise the team will fail. Agree on shared language. Again, this is an important thing, same as the time zones. We have to have a shared language. Many people will have their own languages. It is important to have one common language which can be accepted, which can be agreed, which can be understood by each and every person. And that's one of the important points to make the virtual teams work. As I said earlier, create a water cooler moments. In between, we may have to have some lighter moments, some water cooler moments to keep the team engaged. We cannot have bombarding of issues or the actions all the time. There has to be some water cooler moments. There has to be some break free moments, which has to be packaged in such kind of collaboration. It has to be part of the package. Clarity and track commitment. Clarity we have talked about, and tracking the commitments. People who give the commitments on this platform have to be tracked properly, and there has to be a mechanism to track it. Foster shared leadership. You have to find that every time one person cannot lead. So you have to find some ways of getting for particular kind of meeting or particular kind of, you can say subject, one person who can lead. Next time the another person lead. You can always generate many leaders in this process. So shared leadership is another area through which we can make virtual teams more successful. And lastly, don't forget one-to-ones. When we get into the meetings, we talk in front of people. People come together, they leave the meeting, they go on another meeting. So it becomes only a meeting. There has to be one-to-one connection between all the participants of that team. And if that one-to-one communication can do a lot of impact on your virtual teams, virtual collaboration, it can establish the one-to-one connect. And the people on the other side, especially when I talked about the loneliness, it can help to reduce that impact. And this is very important to have one-to-one. We cannot forget this. And these are some of the 10 points which I feel can make virtual team works. Thank you very much for your patient listening.